everyone. Welcome back to the Be More podcast, where we inspire you all to be a little bit more of every role within the Salesforce, Slack, Tableau, and MuleSoft ecosystem. Today, we are talking about the Slack ecosystem in particular, and our session today is going to be focused on Be More Slack chapter leader. So I am joined today by Ankit. So are you able to introduce yourself for our audience, please?
Yeah, sure, Tom. First of all, nice to meet you and thank you for inviting me for this one. So, my name is Ankit Thakkar. Currently, I'm based out of Milton Keynes, UK. My roots belongs, or I basically hails from Gujarat, India.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm here in UK for almost 3 years. Talking about my IT experience, I have a 12 years of IT experience, where specifically in Salesforce ecosystem, it has been 7 years now. So that's me, and now playing a role of a solution architect for one of the enterprise clients.
So for today's session, we're going to be exploring in particular your role as a Slack chapter leader. So are you able to introduce that to our audience? Maybe they haven't heard of that, they're not sure what that means.
Yeah, sure. So the people who are in the Salesforce Ohana or the community from long time, they know we are having a different communities running over. And after the several acquisition from Salesforce, after that we are having now Tableau, MuleSoft included, and the latest one is the Slack as well.
Yeah.
So I applied for the Slack community chapter leader role for Milton Keynes. I was working for one of the enterprise client where I got the opportunity to be admin on a Slack workspace, and that inspired me. I worked there for longer period, and the way you are collaborating with others and you are having those fun and things like that, the emojis and so many cool stuff that you can do it in Slack, that inspired me, like, this is far better than what we're using on a daily basis. It's not just a collaboration tool, we can do more than that. And I was exploring more on the Slack at that time, so I applied for the Slack community chapter leader for Milton Keynes in 2022. Post that I started for this role where I'm hosting the events physically and virtually. Physically, mostly in Milton Keynes, and virtually, globally, anyone can join, where you'll be able to learn more around the Slack features and the use cases and the functionality, the integration stuff, and things like that. So it will be more to know how we can use Slack better and increase your own productivity.
I'm certainly an advocate for some of those features in Slack as well, being a Slack user myself, and also Slack certified too. So I'm wondering, have you gone on to kind of explore the Slack certification paths as well? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, so Slack certifications I have explored as well, and I've started going through the admin prep course that we are having. So if you are partner with Salesforce, we are having a partner community group as well, where earlier the alliances and the partnership team was giving you the vouchers for getting enrolled for this particular course. At the same time, you will be able to get the voucher for Slack certifications. There are 3 certifications available right now: the admin, developer, and the consultant one.
Well, it's great that you're taking advantage of that, because that's how I got into Slack myself. I took advantage, like as a Salesforce partner, joined the Slack group, and then took advantage of the free course and the exam attempt with the course as well, and then became a Slack certified admin, and then perhaps progressed to then become a Slack certified consultant as well. So the exam's great, and I think you naturally learn new things and about new features of Slack that you perhaps haven't explored or discovered yourself yet. As a Slack chapter leader, how do you interact with other roles or other people in the ecosystem? I'm assuming it kind of spans perhaps different relationships of different purposes, like maybe reaching out to speakers or organizing the agenda or trying to find a sponsor and sorting out the food and drink and things like that.
Yes.
What type of people do you work with to pull all of those things together?
Yeah, so the things is, like, as you mentioned, like, definitely I'm closely working with the head of the Slack community, Checkup Bros. Everyone knows if you are in that ecosystem or even the part of a Slack community, then you must know him. So I mostly interact with him for any of the events. I will ask him to do the proofreading about the event agenda or the event descriptions and other things that I'm posting. At the same time, as you said, like we need to interact with the different speakers, invite them for the events as well. So few of the events, say for example, we hosted the Slack Canvas event, and for that I invited Jashin Pok, who was working in Slack itself, and I met him during the Slack Frontier event. So I was having some personal connection with him as well outside this. So I invited him and he said yes for the event, and we did the Slack Canvas. You need to be coordinate with the sponsors to for the locations or the place where they're allowing us to host the events. At the same time, yes, arranging the food and drink and other things. And now Slack is allowing us to host the event in the Salesforce Tower as well. So I'm planning for one workshop there, if possible, where I can have a co-host event with the London Slack community chapter, and we can have that workshop there where people can come and try to do some hands-on as well.
I myself attended the London chapter kickoff meeting a couple of months ago.
Yeah, relaunch one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's great to get involved, and also respect peek on the other side of the curtain, like being somebody that's very invested in Salesforce, always curious to know what Slack has to offer. I'm just curious now, right? As a Salesforce community group leader, I always have a problem of finding speakers and trying to decide what topics my group want to hear about. Do you have similar challenges as well?
We are having the different workflows created for the Slack community chapter leader in Slack community itself, where you can submit that and you will be able to get the speaker around the globe. There might be challenges that you can't host the in-person event in case a speaker is not within UK. But yeah, there are workflows and you will get the speaker that way as well. And now we are having a Slack community chapter leader channels as well there. So you can communicate with them. People are, trying to be speaker in each other's events as well. So that way we are also trying to overcome this kind of a challenges.
Yeah.
And ultimately, if no one is coming, then yes, myself will become a speaker, and whatever I can try to, explain people that I can and have a self-awareness and things like that. So yeah, that way I will also get to learn more, because otherwise I need to be dependent on the speaker itself. But if I'm doing the deep dive, I will learn more in that case. So that is another thing.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, it's good to hear that you aren't the only people with those challenges, and I'm really,
definitely,
really kind of excited about how the Slack team is drinking their own champagne. With it sounds like workflows to help solve that problem and bring people together. That sounds great.
Correct.
So maybe in the future, might be running a session on how to get Slack certified. Do you think?
Yeah, definitely.
No pressure.
We wanted to do that. I wanted to do that, but at the same time, what happens right now, those vouchers and other things are not coming up from Slack itself. So I thought, like, once it is again up and someone is coming up in that role, the alliance is in partnership role.
There's no point doing it if the program is on a bit of a pause or hiatus.
Yeah.
You want to do it when it's up and running and available to people. So that makes sense. So next question now, but how do you fit this in? Like you're working full time and doing this as well, right? How do you fit everything in? How do you juggle and prioritize things?
Yeah, so I would say like it comes with your own interest, and if you have that motivation to do something else out of your work, because this way you will be able to constantly give something back to the community. At the same time, try to have more networking because of this kind of a situation. You will learn from many of the other peoples as well, like how they deal with this kind of thing, because being like I know you are also leading the Salesforce architect community. You are hosting those events as well. So it is like doing something additional out of the work, which will feel good from within.
Yes.
That is something I thoroughly enjoy, and that's the reason I opted for this one.
So thinking about this now as somebody that's listening to this podcast, and maybe they're feeling a little bit inspired and they're perhaps considering becoming a Slack chapter leader themselves, thinking about that person, what tips, advice would you give to them if they were looking to start out?
So I would say, like, tips wise, first try to go through or explore Slack more before you
Mm.
yourself applying for the Slack community chapter leader. We are having a if you go to the Slack certified or place there, then you can do the
Mhm.
badges the way you're doing the badges on the Trailhead, or
Yeah.
do similar thing for the MuleSoft or the Tableau as well. If you go, then you will be able to do the some badges for Slack. Try to explore some more. Be a user. Come on the Slack community as a
Mhm.
user first. Then you can go for the chapter leader application process and
Yeah.
other things like that. Apply for that. You will be go through that process where from the Slack community they will be arranging one interview for you. First of all, you need to fill out that application form. After that, they will assess and do the other things, and then they will reach out and have your interview.
Well, that sounds great. And I'm loving the subtle differences between this program and the Salesforce one, because I'm picking up on some differences. So,
Oh,
but
is it
that's great.
different than on a Salesforce side? Like,
Yeah, Salesforce side, you don't have the interview.
it's not kind of
Mm.
interview, but they will ask you certain questions like why you wanted to become this. You need to justify your role and
Yeah.
justify why you wanted to do it on specific location. That is the only case. Like, it's not like our job interview kind of a thing, but
Mm.
yeah, it's a
Yeah, yeah.
normal conversation kind of a thing.
And do you think maybe somebody being like a Slack champion in their own organization or company, like, could potentially suit this role as well, right? If they're advocating for Slack, like within their own organization, do you think that's potentially somebody that can go on to start their own group?
Yeah, definitely. If you are a kind of a super user or expert or doing
Mm.
the workspace admin role within Slack, then eventually you will be, attracted towards this. And then if you
Yeah.
get to know about this, that something like that is also going on where you can apply for
Mm.
a chapter leader, then definitely I've seen some of the people started so many chapters like that in India for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's great. The more Slack advocates we have, the better and the easier it becomes.
yeah, I would say like it's not that much matured and you will get that much audience the way we are getting it in Salesforce for sure.
Mm.
It's still in the initial phase where, say, if 100 people has registered for your event, might be you get 50% or 60% attendance on a given day. That might be the possibility. But when we are having the Salesforce events getting organized, you will get a better crowd and more crowd.
I can certainly speak. There are some parallels again here that I'm picking up on
Mhm.
as running the London Architect community group for Salesforce. We do see sometimes up to 50% dropout rate. So
Mhm.
I don't think that's particularly unusual, but I think obviously the nature of our group is maybe a little bit bigger than in your group because there's just more features, functionality when you think about
Exactly.
Salesforce, right?
Slack is coming up with more features nowadays. So say like
Mm.
Slack Sales Elevate, now recently Slack List, Slack Canvas as well. So
Yeah.
this kind of features now, just the day before yesterday or something like that, now we are having the schedules signed on the threads as well. So this kind of was little wins and the quick turnaround time that they are coming up with on the features. It will definitely drive more adoption towards Slack.
And I love the kind of culture that Slack embraces around those changes because, like, I certainly, as a Slack user, and little tip for everybody out there,
Yeah,
/feedback in any channel, it will raise a case with the team, and
yeah.
the team are really responsive, friendly, and helpful. And I did that just yesterday to give them some feedback, and they're
Mm-hmm.
now considering my suggestion for their longer term roadmap. So I have the
Yeah.
power as a user to just be like, oh, actually, can you do this? And
You
yeah.
will feel empowered. Like I am having a direct inputs to be available on the product roadmap
Mm.
and the product that I love. So that is always very good. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So thinking about this now, how long have you been a Slack chapter leader for?
it's been almost now 1.5 for seventh or eighth quarter now. Yeah.
Okay, so thinking about your time
Hmm.
during that period, if you were to start again, is there anything you would change or tweak, or would you do it all the same because it's made you the Slack chapter leader that you are now?
No, I would say like I need to restart or rethink in that perspective. Like I was doing more virtual events
Mm,
to drive the more members within building his chapter
yeah.
initially. But now it is a time like I'm about to reach at least 100 members within this chapter, community chapter. So now I'm planning to do more in-person event or the co-hosted event. I also expand my network where I will get more speakers and things like that, so that will drive more adoption towards Slack as well. At the same time, it will give me more avenues to represent some of the other features in the Slack related items.
Mm,
I wanted to do in-person events, I wanted to do workshops as well, and hands-on workshops. And being a developer or architect mind, if you're keeping that into mind, yes, I wanted to go for like some of the custom things and building your own applications and things like that. This kind of topics will drive more adoption. Like people will start thinking what they can do in Slack apart from doing the collaboration.
yeah. Okay. Awesome. And I think personally, community group, and maybe seeing it from both angles, I think in person you kind of inspire that interaction more, and you get
Yeah,
more people kind of talking up and sharing their experiences. Right.
yeah, yeah. True.
Super valuable for not only you because you're learning at the same time as everyone else, right? But the
Yeah.
group too.
Yeah, obviously,
Yeah.
because in-person events even give the chance people to do the networking and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So thinking about this now as somebody that's perhaps thinking about becoming a Slack chapter leader, what skills attributes would you use to kind of describe that ideal candidate?
Yeah, I would say like you need to be curious, but at the same time, you should have some patience as well to grow the
Yeah.
community chapter. Because the only problem that I can see, you should not give up very easily if you're not getting that right response in back, like people are not joining and things like that.
Mhm.
So you definitely need some patience and curiosity to come up with some more features and different ideas to continue grow yourself and grow more awareness about Slack as well. So yeah,
Mm.
these are the two quality definitely you need. And yeah, some of the things like I personally myself is very extrovert, so I have a
Yeah.
better network as well. Because you speak a lot, you will be able to mingle with more people. So the situation is, I would say like, yeah, try to build your network, try to grow along with other people as well. That is what, if you have this kind of a qualities, then yeah, definitely go for the Slack community chapter.
Awesome. Well, I think that's solid advice there. Thinking about this now as an opportunity to kind of demyth or debust something about running a Slack chapter, is there anything that people often say, oh, do you do this because you must do because you run a Slack chapter, or kind of any misconception, or perhaps something you just like an opportunity to just clarify about what it's really like in reality compared to maybe what people think when you say that to them.
Yeah, so definitely I would say like, if you're doing something, you need to definitely devote your time towards that.
Mm,
Think around that, like how you will drive more adoption and things like that, specifically within Slack ecosystem. Because as I said, like you won't get the similar thing what you are having on the matured communities of a Salesforce, MuleSoft, and things like that.
yeah.
So in that case, it's not that easy at the same time. But nowadays the situation is, if you are a Slack community chapter leader, you will get some more opportunities. I would give my example because I got a chance to be a speaker on the World Tour London last year,
Mm,
not this year, but last year I was presenting Slack community, or I was presenting Slack community there, and I got a chance to speak around the AI adoption and other things that Slack is doing. So I took that opportunity, and you feel good. Apart from
yeah.
that, misconception will be obviously there, like it's so easy, and because of that you will get the perk and things like that. Yeah, perk will be always there as a leader, and you will get some of the other news or other things
Mm,
before it will come to the market, or you will get a chance to participate into some of the items where like some POCs are going on, or they need the feedback on certain features. So you will get to participate into that as well. So I personally love it.
Yeah.
You need to devote your time. So if you have
Yeah.
time, then nothing is coming, free of cost. You need to invest your time there for
Mm.
sure.
Yeah. Invest your time and also your learning as well, because you're
Yes,
continuously learning, right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, true.
And I love that thing about World Tour too, and the fact that it wasn't this year as last, because I know there's somebody else this year from the London chapter that was talking
Jake,
World Tour.
yeah,
So
yeah. Jake was there this time, and last year I got a chance, and there were other people as well. Like you anyway know, like Todd was there from Salesforce perspective. Sudhir
mm,
was there. Sudhir Kulkarni from MuleSoft perspective.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah, I was also getting chance to meet these people because I was presenting or I was a speaker there. So
mm,
it that will expand your network. You will grow, learn from them as well. Now, if I need something, I will definitely have one connection. If something is coming in MuleSoft, if there is something coming up on the Salesforce related things, there are plenty of connection. But then I got one another connection to reach out to or having my doubts resolved and things like that.
Just one thing about the World Tour, I don't know how you feel about this,
Mm-hmm.
but I wish they would just make the grabber, the Slack grabber,
Yeah.
easier. Because I
Yes.
had to do that thing 15 times to get
Yes.
to
Yes.
the top, Much
Yeah.
better at writing a workflow than I am grabbing socks. We're bringing the session for today to a close, but before we do go,
Mm-hmm.
if somebody's listening to this and maybe they want to be a speaker or they want to learn more, what's a way for them to connect with you?
They can reach out to me on Slack community. That would be my preference
Yeah.
because that way they will come on Slack community as well and try to see what are the different kind of events happening. Try to join more groups, not only Milton Keynes. We are having variety of topics and things going on in Slack. I'm available on LinkedIn as well. Ankit Art is my URL part of the
Mm,
LinkedIn. I will Ankit.Chivran is my Twitter handle as well. If someone wants to connect, yeah, anytime available. Feel free
yeah.
to send me the request on LinkedIn and happy to chat.
Yeah, awesome. Well, that's great, and I'm glad how you gave Slack as your preferred option. I feel like that was the right answer.
Yes, because yeah, that way, people will try to understand and try to use Slack as well.
Mm,
Because Slack
yeah, yeah,
community is hosted again on there itself. So you will get that flavor if you are not having Slack at your, wherever you are working,
yeah.
whatever client, if they are not using Slack and they're using something else, this way you will be able to get the flavor of Slack as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, again, kind of embracing that chain of thought, really, there are some amazing Slack communities out there in terms of that you've got, for example, the Flownatic for Salesforce
Yes,
Flow, you've got the Ohana
architect of one as well.
workspace, and
Yeah,
also, yeah, exactly, the Architect Ohana one, and you've got the Slack community one as well. So you've
yeah.
got lots of different workspaces to join, explore, and learn. So I think that's a great
Even
message.
I'm active on the other communities as well. Like if you
Mm,
take the example of US or GDG events and things like
mm,
that, so there are workspaces available for that as well. So you can be part of that. Even I have joined one of the AWS Solution Architect channel as workspace as well, where you can
yeah.
learn. Because I wanted to be up here for that, and the people are having the learning material and the source, and
Mm,
you will get the study buddy as well there.
yeah.
So you never know. So it's always good.
Well, that's great, and I think that just illustrates the power of Slack as a tool, right? Connecting
Yeah.
all of you people together to talk about the same topic or learn about the same things.
And if anyone wants to, discuss
Mm,
anything, how to apply or what needs to be done, I will be happy to help there as well.
awesome, thanks.
Thanks, Tom.